Have you ever noticed how certain aspects of your daily routine take on greater significance once you cross into your mid-70s? Simple things like deciding what to eat or how to spend an afternoon can suddenly feel like higher stakes choices, especially when it comes to supporting your immune system. Many folks in their golden years find themselves taking extra precautions, washing hands more frequently, keeping a watchful eye on germ-heavy places, or double-checking their supply of supplements. Yet there's one area often overlooked in the quest for immune support: the humble mushroom. These fungi have been part of traditional practices across different cultures for generations, prized not just for flavor, but for their potential health benefits. Today, more and more people over 75 are rediscovering how specific mushroom varieties may help bolster their body's natural defenses. If you've ever dismissed mushrooms as merely a pizza topping or a soup ingredient, you might be pleasantly surprised at how they can fit into a robust, senior-friendly wellness routine. One reason this topic is so pressing is that our immune function naturally shifts as we age. The body may become a bit slower to respond to threats, which can lead to longer recovery times or a generally lower level of energy. This can dampen the enjoyment of daily life. Everything from joining friends at a community event to playing with grandchildren might feel more tiring. By exploring the potential immune-boosting properties of certain mushrooms, you could unlock a gentle food-based approach that complements your existing habits. Imagine having the energy to go on that afternoon walk without feeling drained afterward, or being more confident about stepping into a crowded place without constant worry about catching something. Understanding these mushroom varieties is not about making big dramatic changes, but rather about integrating small, enjoyable tweaks to enhance your overall well-being. Over the next few minutes, we're going to look at 4 specific mushroom varieties. Some you might already recognize from grocery shelves, and others that might be entirely new to you. We'll explore the common misconceptions about each mushroom, real-life stories of seniors who've embraced them, and practical tips for adding them to your diet or supplement routine. While none of this is meant to replace professional medical advice, it's grounded in time-tested wisdom and emerging insights on how mushrooms and immune health can intersect. If you've been feeling a little run down or want a simple, comforting way to give your body some extra TLC, these mushroom varieties could open up a world of possibilities. By the end of this exploration, you'll see that you don't need a complicated regimen to add meaningful support to your immune system. Each of these mushrooms offers something unique. Whether it's a gentle nudge to your immune cells, a boost in overall vitality, or a cozy tea ritual that warms both your body and spirit, the hope here is to leave you feeling more informed and empowered, ready to make choices that honor your health and independence. After all, maintaining a strong immune function isn't just about avoiding seasonal sniffles, it's about preserving the freedom to live life on your own terms. Before we begin, take a moment to reflect on how you currently take care of your immune system. Do you have any daily or weekly rituals such as sipping a hot beverage, enjoying a mindful walk in the sunshine, or indulging in a hearty soup full of vegetables? If so, how might mushrooms fit into these routines? Consider sharing your thoughts with friends, family, or even jotting them down. Your perspective matters and can help others discover new ways to care for themselves as well. Now let's delve into the first mushroom variety that might challenge what you think you know about supporting your immune system. It's common to think of fungi in one of 2 ways, either as something to avoid, like mold, or something to enjoy strictly for flavor, like a button mushroom in your pasta. But the reality is that some mushrooms have been revered for centuries for their unique properties. Let's start with one that carries a storied history, a variety many call the mushroom of immortality. Reishi mushrooms often evoke images of wisdom and longevity. In many Asian traditions, they've been used for years in teas or tinctures to promote what is sometimes referred to as vital energy. If you mention reishi to someone who spent time studying herbal traditions, you'll likely hear at least one story of how it's been part of ceremonial or deeply personal health practices. However, one major misconception seniors might hold is that something so ancient can't possibly have relevance in our modern world, especially when we have access to all sorts of newfangled health products. This assumption can lead us to overlook simple, natural options that might complement whatever we're already doing. A wonderful illustration of this shift in perspective comes from a woman named Harriet, who's 78 and lives in a small coastal town. Harriet always considered herself fairly health conscious, but she had never even heard of reishi mushrooms until her daughter gave her a jar of reishi tea blend for her birthday. At first, Harriet was skeptical. She thought that if she really needed help with her immune function, it should come from a supplement that looked more like a vitamin pill or a specialized drink from the pharmacy. But with her daughter's gentle encouragement, Harriet began sipping this mild, earthy tea each morning. Over time, she noticed something she couldn't quite ignore. She felt a subtle, steady energy that helped her stay awake and engaged during her afternoon bridge club. She also found that her seasonal sniffles seemed to pass more quickly than in previous years. Harriet doesn't consider it a miracle, but she now firmly believes in reishi as a supportive element to her health routine. While research on reishi mushrooms and immune function is still evolving, some evidence suggests that compounds in reishi may help support the activity of specific immune cells. The key here is support, not cure. Think of reishi as a friendly companion that helps your immune system be more efficient in its day-to-day work. The good news is that you don't need to drastically change your diet to enjoy it. Many seniors find it easiest to start with a small cup of reishi-infused tea or try a simple soup recipe. If you're more adventurous, you could explore reishi powder, mixing it into oatmeal or a smoothie. Start slow, observe how your body responds, and keep an open mind. Physically, the benefit of incorporating reishi might be a more resilient feeling, like your body is less overwhelmed by minor challenges. Emotionally, it can become a comforting ritual. There's something calming about sipping a warm beverage that also nurtures the body from the inside out. And when you're feeling more balanced, it's easier to greet your day with a sense of optimism. As always, it's wise to touch base with your healthcare provider, especially if you're on multiple medications. But don't let the unknown nature of reishi hold you back from exploring a gentle, time-honored way to support your immune function. Now, if you're still feeling cautious, think about it this way. We often trust new pills on the market because they come in a nice bottle from a familiar brand. Yet we doubt natural remedies that have existed for centuries. It's worth questioning why. Is it purely because they're unfamiliar? Or perhaps we've just never had someone explain them in a straightforward way. The next mushroom on our list offers another layer of insight into how fungi can be a delightful, everyday ally. Shiitake mushrooms are far more common in grocery stores and restaurants, known for their rich flavor and meaty texture. In many cuisines, particularly Japanese, Chinese, and Korean, they're highly valued not just for taste, but also for their potential health benefits. A major misconception among seniors, however, is that if something is a common grocery item, it can't possibly offer anything special. It's easy to assume that because it's mainstream, it must not be potent or beneficial. Yet that assumption overlooks the subtleties of what nature provides. Consider the story of George, a 76-year-old retiree who lives in a vibrant retirement community. George had always been a meat and potatoes kind of guy, rarely venturing into new territory with his meals. His granddaughter visited one weekend and offered to cook dinner for him. She whipped up a simple stir-fry with vegetables, chicken strips, and plenty of fresh shiitake mushrooms. George was hesitant at first. He had tried button mushrooms before, but this variety seemed different, with a more pronounced, almost smoky taste. He ended up enjoying the meal so much that he asked her to teach him how to make it. Over the next few months, George noticed something interesting. He seemed to have fewer digestive troubles, felt more satisfied after meals, and had an overall sense of well-being that was new to him. When he looked into shiitake mushrooms, he found that they contain compounds like beta-glucans, which some believe can play a role in supporting immune function. Though research is still ongoing, shiitake mushrooms are often associated with promoting healthy cholesterol levels and potentially encouraging certain immune cells to function optimally. But let's be realistic. Tossing a few shiitake slices into your stir-fry once a week isn't going to magically transform your health overnight. Instead, think of it as layering small benefits over time. Maybe incorporating shiitake mushrooms replaces a less nutritious option in your meal. Perhaps you end up exploring more vegetable-forward dishes, which can positively affect your nutritional balance overall. Each step you take can add up to a more comprehensive approach to health. Practically speaking, Including shiitake in your diet is as simple as slicing them into soups, stews, or sauté dishes. If you have difficulty standing in the kitchen for long periods, prepare them in advance by cleaning, slicing, and storing them in a sealed container. You can even find dried shiitake mushrooms that you can rehydrate quickly in warm water. The rehydration liquid becomes a flavorful base for soups or sauces. On a physical level, your body may appreciate the additional nutrients, fiber, and potential immune-supporting compounds. Emotionally, cooking with shiitake can be fun and a source of pride. You're taking an active role in maintaining your health. Now, if the idea of cooking regularly sounds daunting, consider starting with simpler recipes or enlisting the help of friends, family, or community cooking classes aimed at seniors. Many community centers offer sessions on healthy, affordable meals you can make at home. You could even turn it into a social activity, inviting a neighbor over to experiment with a new recipe. Studies show that social connections themselves boost overall well-being, and when combined with a nutritious meal, you're doubling down on positive self-care. Before we move on to our next mushroom variety, ask yourself, have you ever tried preparing a dish that felt both comforting and adventurous at the same time? Shiitake mushrooms might be your bridge to exploring that side of yourself. Sometimes it's about revisiting your sense of culinary curiosity, the same curiosity that might have been overshadowed by the routine of daily life. Let that curiosity guide you, and you may find yourself enjoying both the taste and the gentle health benefits of these versatile fungi. Speaking of versatile, let's shift gears to a mushroom that has garnered increasing attention among holistic practitioners for its potential immune-enhancing qualities. If you haven't encountered turkey tail mushrooms yet, you might be surprised by just how fascinating this variety can be. Often found growing on trees in wooded areas, turkey tail mushrooms have a striped, fan-like appearance, hence their name. They've been used in various traditional practices across Asia for centuries, primarily for what many believe to be their immune-supporting properties. However, a common misconception among seniors is that mushrooms growing in the wild are dangerous or unclean. While it's absolutely true that you should never forage mushrooms without proper expertise, standardized turkey tail extracts and supplements are generally cultivated or sourced by responsible suppliers. So, you can enjoy the potential benefits without the risk of ingesting the wrong mushroom. The misconception often prevents people from exploring turkey tail at all, which is a missed opportunity to discover whether it might be a helpful addition to a broader wellness plan. Let's take a look at Samuel's experience. Samuel is an 80-year-old who'd been an avid hiker most of his life. Over the past few years, he noticed his stamina on the trail starting to wane. Part of this is the natural aging process, but he also felt he was catching colds more frequently and recovering from them more slowly. During one of his doctor visits, he mentioned his desire to look into more natural approaches to complement his existing medication regimen. While his doctor didn't recommend a specific product, she encouraged him to continue exploring gentle nutritional supports. Samuel's neighbor, who was studying natural health, introduced him to a turkey tail supplement. Skeptical but curious, Samuel gave it a try. Over several months, he reported feeling more resilient, noticing that the minor bugs he picked up resolved faster. Although he still had to pace himself on hikes, he felt a renewed sense of enjoyment and confidence in being outdoors. Studies suggest that turkey tail contains compounds like polysaccharidopeptides, which may bolster the immune system's communication pathways. Some medical professionals even consider it in conjunction with more conventional treatments, although that's a decision best made in collaboration with a qualified healthcare provider. For seniors, the attraction to turkey tail often lies in the possibility of maintaining energy levels and supporting overall immune function without introducing harsh or drastic changes to their lifestyles. From a practical standpoint, turkey tail is commonly consumed as a tea, powder, or capsule. The tea can be slightly earthy and sweet, especially if you add a touch of honey or your favorite low-sugar sweetener. If you opt for a capsule, it's typically as simple as taking it with a meal. Keep in mind that all natural doesn't automatically mean no side effects, so it's essential to monitor how you feel and to keep an open dialogue with your healthcare team, especially if you're managing chronic conditions or taking multiple prescriptions. On an emotional level, introducing turkey tail can be empowering. It allows you to take a small, proactive step in your own healthcare. Instead of feeling passive, merely reacting to whatever comes your way. You're actively seeking out ways to give your immune system a subtle boost. That sense of agency can be as valuable as any potential physical benefit, especially if you've felt resigned to the idea that declining immunity is just part of aging. At this point, you may be thinking, this sounds promising, but where do I even start? You can find Turkey Tail products in specialty health stores or reputable online retailers. A quick conversation with a pharmacist or nutrition-oriented professional can help guide you toward a brand that's standardized and reliable. Just remember, the goal isn't to replace your existing treatments or to chase miraculous results. It's to integrate a helpful ally into your overall routine. If you're in doubt, you can always begin with a low-dose supplement or try a mild tea once a day to see how it suits you. After exploring 3 different mushrooms, you might be feeling a mixture of excitement and uncertainty. Perhaps you're intrigued by the idea of fortifying your immune system through such natural means, but you also want to make sure you're staying safe and practical. Now is a good time to pause and consider. What are your biggest questions or hesitations about adding a mushroom-based supplement or food into your life? Sharing those questions with someone you trust, or even writing them down, can help clarify your feelings and lead you to the best next step for you. Let's move on to our final mushroom variety, which is often hailed for its capacity to help the body maintain balance. Maytake mushrooms, sometimes called hen of the woods, have a more delicate yet distinctive appearance. In certain parts of Japan, they're considered a prize find, often growing at the base of oak trees. One misconception older adults might have is that anything labeled exotic in the produce section is simply a flavor novelty. Yet Maytake has been celebrated for centuries not just for its taste, but for its potential to support overall wellness, including aspects of immune function and metabolic health. Let's consider Linda, who is 77 and loves cooking for her grandkids. She used to believe that health foods were bland, expensive, or required complicated recipes. Then she attended a cooking class at her local community center that focused on global cuisine. The instructor introduced Maytake mushrooms in a dish that combined simple ingredients, onions, herbs, and a sprinkle of salt. Linda was amazed by the mushroom's full-bodied flavor and how it seemed to transform a basic meal into something restaurant quality. Inspired, she began experimenting at home, trying Maytake in everything from soups to omelets. Over time, she noticed that she felt less weighed down after meals and had more energy for her afternoon yoga sessions. She also liked knowing that she was introducing a potentially immune-supportive element to her family's diet. Some emerging research suggests that Maytake may help regulate certain immune responses and even support healthy blood sugar levels, though individual results can vary widely. The beauty of Maytake for seniors is that it's relatively accessible in fresh or dried form. If you find the fresh form in your grocery store, you can break the clusters into smaller pieces and saute them like you would any other mushroom. If you use the dried version, rehydrate it in water or broth, and save that flavorful liquid for soups. Maytake's slightly nutty, peppery flavor often makes it a favorite among those who like a little more zest in their dishes. On the physical side, incorporating Maytake may contribute to feeling more balanced. Some seniors report having steadier energy levels and fewer midday slumps. While that's anecdotal, it aligns with the idea that when our bodies receive a broader spectrum of nutrients, including those found in mushrooms, we may function more efficiently. Emotionally, embracing an ingredient like Maytake can bring an element of adventure to meal planning. It's easy to get stuck in a rut of repeating the same foods out of habit or convenience, especially if cooking has become more challenging. But discovering a new flavor or recipe can spark joy and creativity, reigniting the pleasure of eating well. If you're concerned about cost, remember that a little Maytake can go a long way in flavor, and you can mix it with more familiar, less expensive vegetables to stretch your budget. Alternatively, if you're someone who doesn't enjoy cooking, many health food stores now carry prepared meals that incorporate mushrooms like Maytake. This can be a quick way to sample the taste before you commit to buying it yourself. As you consider all 4 mushrooms, reishi, shiitake, turkey tail, and Maytake, you might wonder which one is best for you. The answer often lies in your personal tastes, your unique health situation, and your willingness to experiment. Perhaps you'll discover that one variety resonates more with your palate, or you might enjoy a combination. In any case, The overarching idea is to see these mushrooms as potential allies in maintaining or subtly enhancing your immune function, not as cure-alls. When approached with realistic expectations and respect for your own body's nuances, mushrooms can be a comforting and enjoyable part of your wellness journey. It's natural to feel both hopeful and cautious about integrating new foods or supplements, especially in your 70s and beyond. After all, you want to invest your time, energy, and resources wisely. But consider what we've explored: reishi's history of ceremonial use, shiitake's common presence that might hide extraordinary benefits, turkey tail's growing reputation for immune support, and maitake's versatile role in both flavor and wellness. Each offers its own appeal, whether it's the ritual of sipping a gentle tea or the thrill of cooking something new. Taking these steps to learn about mushrooms is more than just a culinary adventure. It's also a profound statement of self-care. Rather than resigning yourself to the idea that your immune system inevitably slows down with every passing year, you're exploring a nurturing path. You're reminding yourself that even in the later stages of life, there are always fresh opportunities to learn, adapt, and enjoy. This sense of possibility can be a powerful antidote to the more challenging aspects of aging. If you're feeling inspired, you don't have to go all in at once. A simple first step could be adding one type of mushroom to your next grocery list or ordering a small packet of tea. Another approach is to seek out a nutrition-focused class or seminar in your area, which can make the learning process more social and fun. For those who prefer reading, you might pick up a cookbook or reputable guide on culinary mushrooms. Each action, however small, underscores your commitment to your own well-being. Of course, timing can be everything. Sometimes we wait for a health scare or a bout of low energy before finally taking action. But you have the chance right now, without crisis or urgency, to introduce something new that could help support your immune system. Think of it as investing in your wellness savings account. The earlier and more consistently you contribute, the more resilience you may build over time. And if you're already facing health concerns, it might be all the more reason to discuss these mushrooms with a healthcare provider to see if they can complement your current plan. As for next steps, you have several options to match different comfort levels. If you prefer the most minimal approach, try a single cup of reishi or turkey tail tea in the afternoon. If cooking is your joy, experiment with shiitake or maitake in a dish you already love. If you'd like something more structured, look for mushroom-based supplements at your local pharmacy or health store, keeping in mind any medications you're already taking. Always stay open with your doctor or pharmacist about any additions to your daily routine. Sometimes a simple piece of advice can help you avoid interactions or optimize dosage. Finally, remember that every bit of self-care you engage in, whether it's adding a new mushroom to your diet, practicing light exercises, or spending an extra few minutes in the sunshine, works together to support your overall health. Each choice is like a small thread that weaves into a larger tapestry of well-being, independence, and enjoyment. You have the wisdom of experience on your side, and that wisdom can guide you to make decisions that honor your body, your preferences, and your lifestyle. You are not defined by limitations. You are shaped by the countless possibilities that remain open to you. Let the exploration of these 4 mushroom varieties serve as a gentle reminder of that fact. By nurturing your immune system in natural, comforting ways, you create space for more vitality, joy, and connection with the people and activities you love. Here's to your continued journey of discovery and the empowerment that comes with knowing you can still make meaningful, healthy changes at any age. If this resonates with you, consider sharing it with a friend or loved one who might also be curious about mushrooms. Who knows, you might just spark a new chapter in their own wellness story.